So, way back during Spider-Man 1, the Green Goblin says this.
Instruct him in the matters of loss and pain. Make him suffer. Make him wish he were dead.
Yes.
And then grant his wish.
But how?
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
To me, that is still one of the most chilling super villain lines like I ever heard when I was a kid. Because I didn't exactly know where he was going to go with that. And instantaneously, he goes to Aunt May, blows open the side of the house, and threatens her, causes her to have a heart attack and a mental breakdown, and puts her in the hospital. And I was like, yo, Green Goblin is fucking cold. And I didn't really understand his reasoning as to why. Because, in my opinion, during No Way Home, I felt as though he had done what he should have done in the original Spider-Man trilogy if he wanted to hurt Peter. But he did want to hurt Peter. It's just that the way in which he went about it was meant for two different Peters. So, in the original Spider-Man movie, first you attack his heart. He attacked Aunt May to instill fear in Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker to get him on his side. By attacking Aunt May and letting Peter know that he knew who Spider-Man was, he was hoping that Peter would come around to joining his side like he had wanted earlier on with the alliance that he requested on the roof. But that is not the same as in No Way Home. Because in No Way Home, the Goblin makes it extremely clear that Norman Osborn is weak. And essentially, Aunt May is trying to push and foster Peter down this path where no matter if they're villains, you still have to help them. You still have to help them and try to save them no matter what. And the Goblin sees this because from behind Norman's eyes, he's been watching the entire time. And as he's watching, he sees how much Peter cares for her and how much she cares for Peter. But he also sees that with the right little nudge, he can push this Spider-Man to essentially be just like him. The unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. And that's what he does. He has the glider fly in, he has it completely blast May in the side. And she dies. Because he does make that threat about taking away the thing that he loves the most. And he follows through with that. May dies. What happens? Peter has a mental breakdown. His spider sense is fraying so much that it's calling out to two other Spider-Men across the city to come and console him. We flash forward and we get to the final fight. And Peter is not holding his punches. We see this because before, when he fought the Goblin, his punches did nothing because he was holding back. During the second fight, he wasn't holding back. He gave the Goblin more than he bargained for across the board because Peter was out to kill him. The hope of the Green Goblin was quite simple. He wanted Peter to kill him because with Peter killing him, he tainted the boy. Peter's still a kid. At least to this Goblin, he looked at this Peter as a kid. If Peter had killed him in the Goblin's eyes, he would have won. He would have turned Spider-Man into a murderer, a mockery of the hero that he thinks that he is. Peter would have essentially became a much more darker version of Andrew Garfield's character. Also, if you're a comic book head, there is a comic book out there about it's a what if Spider-Man was raised by Uncle Ben instead of Aunt May. It is completely more wild than the original timeline, because in that timeline, because Aunt May dies, Uncle Ben ends up in jail, and Spider-Man basically becomes like this brutal superhero that is just out there bodying the shit out of heroes. I feel like if that had happened, if Tom Holland's Spider-Man had essentially killed Goblin, thank you Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was there to stop him, he would have essentially became a brutal version of Spider-Man like in those comic books. 100% across the board. If he had killed Goblin, Goblin would have won. He would have infected Spider-Man. Not with his madness, but just like, I don't even know how to put it. It's like the Joker wanting to prove that all it takes is just one bad day. one bad day to push you over the edge to turn you insane. And for Tom Holland, you also have to apply a little bit of Batman's logic, which is once you cross that threshold, once you kill someone, and you realize how easy it is, there's no coming back. Because any other person that you meet that even irritates you slightly to the level that the person you initially kill does, you'll always remember that all it takes is one punch at max strength that instantly send that person to the upper room. But William Dafoe's Goblin is a fucking G. I absolutely love his Goblin. Of course, as you've seen from my William Dafoe the GOAT video. Like, it's so good having just a villain that pushes the hero emotionally, physically, and mentally just to the brink, that the hero literally throws away his morals and is willing to kill the villain in order to get revenge. But the heart, Osborn, first you attack his heart, and that he did. And that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below, let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. If I do, I almost flubbed the outro.